Hey there, fellow outlaws. Today we're gonna make a Weber Mini Smokey Joe smoker, and the reason why we're doing this is because I'm gonna smoke my first brisket for the next Meat in Your Mouth. And Joe over at Wonderful Story, his YouTube channel, told me about this setup, and he's made brisket in this that is delicious. Like, he is a legitimate, like, he said he went to school to learn this sort of stuff. And it's kind of funny because, I mean, it's delicious. This is a lot coming from me. Like, I'm really touting him up. But vegan, not by choice, by health. So anyways, what we are going to do is we're going to take this little Weber Smokey Joe and we're going to marry it with this 32 quart tamale seafood steamer and end up having made a mini Smokey Joe smoker. There's a few little things along the way that we'll cover, some technique or some tricks that Joe talked to me about, like the heat diffuser. Use an old cast iron, and I got one that's cracked, so I'm gonna be cutting off the handle, putting that in the bottom. But really the first thing we need to do is get some holes drilled in the bottom of this so that when we marry it together, the smoke has somewhere to go. And I figure that, you know, the steamer folks probably know what they're doing as far as, you know, getting the right amount of airflow through there, steam flow through there. And they have this little template thing on the bottom. And really, all I'm gonna do is get this centered on here, mark out the spots, and then I'm gonna drill the spots. And then we're gonna drill a few more holes. One at 4.5 and one at 10.5 to put some hardware in. And this is the hardware that we're gonna put in, and I'll explain that a little bit later when we're into it. Let's get to drilling. One of the things that I seen on other people's videos is that they were not, their bottoms were kind of fucked off. And I think that's because they didn't screw or drill down into something. Now, I am going to use a 1/2 inch bit, and I want you to notice, you know, socks. We are outlaws here. Safety third. But that doesn't mean that our shit can't look nice. So I figured I would come down to Shiny Shack and borrow his stump, because when I saw it, it like screamed at me like, yeah, do it on that. So let's see if my idea actually worked. Oh, it's so worked. So worth it. Right on. Cool beans. So let's get the rest of these things drilled out, shall we? So now that we got the holes drilled in the bottom, I also went ahead and drilled the holes in 4.5 and at 11.25. Yeah, maybe I ain't gonna be able, well, I guess this mic's on me, it shouldn't be that bad. And 11.25, and they didn't have exactly what I was looking for at the hardware store, but we are a bunch of fucking wingnuts out here. Yeah, that was couldn't find a normal nut. Could find the end nut, could find the lock washer, could not popular one, it was sold out. Somebody bought them all out. So yeah, I'm gonna use a wing nut, and on the bottom you use a 3-inch one, and that you'll set the heat diffuser on, and then at the top, or at the 4.5 mark, it's 3/4 of an inch, and that's just to kind of catch the rack, so you'll have 2 different layers. And reason why you do 3 instead of 4, because it's a lot easier to balance it. It's really hard to get a grill to balance on 4, but on 3 it's stable. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. So now that those are in place, the first one, I'll be putting a Pyrex glass plate in there. I can't find it at the moment. I don't need it till later in there. And then one of the grates will slip down and go below it. And you know what? Just for now, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like, I'll give you a peek in there. We're going to use this as the first grill, or first rack to grill on. Whoops, drop that down in there. Put the second rack in there. And then we'll set that. Ooh, I maybe should have. Oh, there we go. Fits perfect. All right. Throw the lid on. Boom. You got a homemade Smokey Joe. Yeah. Give you a peek in there. As you can see, the first rack and the second rack below. Yeah. Homemade mini Smokey Joe. All right, so this is my first brisket that I've ever done, including inside that little mini cooker that I made, and it's hit the internal temperature of around 165. We're gonna wrap it and put it back in, but I'm gonna take a picture of it first too.